Bum 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 bum. The Peter Dislike Show. Bum 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 bum. Wow, my first time taking an entire weekend off since you guys saw when I was in New Mexico back in March. Actually, I didn't even take that time off either because I was working on a publication that I will be submitting soon. So my first weekend off since wow, you probably have to go back to when I made the trip from Seattle into Phoenix. So a little bit under a year, and I'm juggling multiple career paths, so that's why things have been really hectic over the last 11 months. Go watch my last video. I talked about how I found love at first sight with my latest career paths, but some of that love has turned into borderline hate. Go watch that video. But it made me reflect. Tomorrow when I go back home to Phoenix, I'm going to have to set some hard boundaries because I realize how precious my resources, especially my free time, is these days. I sometimes fritter away time because I let everybody walk all over me, and I notice I have one especially weakness that I especially need to work on. I have a weakness with women, I think. And to give you an idea, I was teaching at a different university when I had a colleague who had some health problems. First, she had some maternity issues, and then COVID hit, and she had nobody to take care of her nephew during COVID. Childcare issues, and/or I think his family was also dealing with COVID or whatever the situation is. And so I ended up giving her most of my vacation time. Where I was teaching, we were allowed to donate our vacation time. She kind of pressured me. You know, I have a weakness with women. Had it been a guy who had asked me, oh, fuck off. You know, I butt heads with guys all the time at work. For some reason, don't get me wrong, I don't have any feelings for my colleague. She's married. She has 3 kids. I have no feelings toward her. I have no feelings of wanting to do anything with her. In fact, quite the opposite. If she wanted to do anything with me, I probably wouldn't have given her the vacation time. I just have this weakness toward women, and sometimes it backfires like that. So I ended up giving her all of my vacation time, which is really frustrating because a lot of times I had things I wanted to do over a weekend, and instead of taking a Monday off, I would just cram coming back to Seattle, or when it was remote work, run around looking for Wi-Fi. And I talked about this in other videos as well. And I hardly give myself enough time to do all the things that I want. And here I give her 6 days, 6 vacation days. And finally, our department completely closed down, and we got a payout for all of our accumulated vacation times. And I got a big fat goose egg, and I think most of my colleagues got at least something out of it. Very frustrating. And then I just before the pandemic, I used to drive a Mitsubishi Lancer. Unfortunately, I lost that car, and now I have Kia Forte. That's what I drive nowadays. But the Lancer, toward the end of its life, I think it had 150,000 miles. It could have had a whole lot more had the pandemic not happened, right? And I knew that the Lancer could die any day, and I needed to save up for my next car. And I started saving for the new car, and I got to half of what my goal was for the next car, and then I got a girlfriend, and then my savings just kind of stalled there. Didn't blow the money on didn't blow what I had already saved on the girl, but my savings for the car stalled. That's my behavior toward women, unfortunately. I would never do that to entertain other things in my life, right? Computer Olympiad, Bismuth art. I would never sacrifice my livelihood for that stuff. But for a girl, even a girl that I don't intend to date, like a colleague, I just have a huge weakness toward it, and which is weird because I don't feel any sexual attraction toward women at all. Quite far from it. And the sex and romance I only feel toward myself, but the sharing and all that I feel toward women for some reason. That's how bizarre it is. This is the Peter Dislike Show. Bum 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 bum. The Peter Dislike Show. Bum 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 bum.